So welcome guys to game number 2 between JackDReaper and eXo.BLaZeR. Gonna be a replay sent here in here from JackDReaper. Let's show these players. Gonna be the pink Terran on the bottom right here for Jack. On the other hand, BLaZeR on this green Terran. And not much to say. I have been already numbed to the standard Terran opening of that supply depot refinery into a Reaper. Honestly, what you need to do for most of the games, that's what the meta is for. When you have a meta, this is the most optimal thing that you can do. This has been tried and tested, and that's why people do it all the time. The potential from the Reaper is absolutely great, honestly. If unattended, the Reaper can get some kills there onto the SCVs, swinging the economy in your favor. And honestly, what kind of unit has self-healing at the start of the game? That's a pretty strong unit to use at the start of the game. Of course, Reapers do fall off pretty heavily into the late game. That's why they got rid of the bonus damage on the building, so you don't use it too much. The cluster charge as well is a environmental kind instead of a damage one. So yeah, it's Reapers. I used to love spamming Reapers back then. Just like building the ones and building them, and the cluster charge is pretty freaking strong, honestly. But for now, a quick little infiltration there from both eXo.BLaZeR and JackDReaper. Will this pink SCV actually take the hit? Nope. He's gonna go for a quick little poke there onto the mineral line and just get the hell out. I guess he took a little sample there to see if the minerals were the same kind. Maybe like a little unfair right there on the side of JackDReaper. But you know what is different? It's the rich mineral field is pretty different for both players. The orange minerals there just giving a little more than it does in the first place. The Reaper now out and about, and the factory being built up here by Jack as well. On the other hand, we see Jack here just dancing on the second expansion, just chilling for the time being, waiting on for the minerals there to flow in. So the SCV waiting for a next paycheck, but here comes the Reaper. Might go for a quick little mugging there onto this one. The BLaZeR does have, but now BLaZeR with a second Reaper once again. He really likes this double Reaper opening. Now he's gonna go for the chase in. The SCV has nowhere to go. Absolutely unfortunate. He was just waiting for his paycheck. It looked like it would have been 13-month pay as well, but now he's gonna go die instead, probably owing a little more money to the Reaper mob. The Cyclone now out into play here for eXo.BLaZeR, and we see the missiles and the pistols. Or Sun ka pa with that kind of setup. Scan comes out as well, so now eXo.BLaZeR knows what Jack's up to. Just seeing the starport being put in, and we will see a Banshee tech once again here from the side of JackDReaper. No, it's gonna be a Raven instead. I should really Google what the Raven does with the interference matrix. I'm gonna Google that real quick, as we do see both players now producing some units up. No real upgrades so far. And what is this? Gonna be the command center here for BLaZeR. The second one gonna be coming out and about. So both players a very turtle approach here. Not really any harassment so far. So Acid Plant LE, one of those maps where they have this really big opening actually for an engagement here. They have a T-junction area, so you can go for two bases pretty similar to each other. Scans come out once again, and eXo.BLaZeR using those scans, valuing information over those extra minerals. So I believe he swatted out the Raven. You see a Raven being put up as well by BLaZeR. Some swaps once again, and it's always interesting in the early to mid game of Terran play. I love seeing these buildings actually play some musical chairs, just hopping around, trying to go for tech labs, those reactors. It all depends on what you need. So the interference matrix disables enemy abilities. That's actually really cool. Like, if you use the interference matrix there to stop like the sieges, to stop like battlecruisers from warping in, that kind of deal, or warping out, that's actually really cool. That interference matrix does that, and so really interesting visual effect as well. So now in terms of the minerals, just both both teams a little even. Honestly, Jack just trying to catch up. He did use up those mules. On the other hand, eXo.BLaZeR just working on those SCV counts of him. Looking at the worker supply, eXo.BLaZeR are in a very slight lead, but it's pretty even in the scheme of things, as both players not really doing much in terms of harassment. JackDReaper, though, a very advanced scouting party of these Reapers. Well, the problem would be if the Reapers just get eviscerated there by the shock cannon, just gets destroyed by the single shot of this tank. And honestly, this is the part of the game where it looks like we're gonna place a little SimCity instead. Just waiting on for an opportunity to get a clash in. I have not much to say, guys. And yeah, I know this is the best time to get some viewership. I know you guys are more out during more happy to do this at night, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes we gotta do it at not the best schedules because of the fact that I do have some little party to host later on. But anyway, you see a Reaper there get destroyed. The mules gonna come out from the orbitals once again, and those satellites, it's just like, you think about it, the Terran Dominion or whoever is actually hosting the Terrans in that fight have a satellite full of these things just ready to go at a moment's notice. They just need a radar put up and they can just throw down these robots from the atmosphere. They're pretty crap though because they die, so like if they could just keep the battery life on these things, maybe that's why they die, because they've been waiting on these planets, just waiting on for an opportunity to get those minerals out. And it's like a Mars rover, it's a little sad to be honest. Speaking of sad, the Reaper getting a field commendation. It's gonna be a purple heart there because he's dead. Poor guy. eXo.BLaZeR though just waiting on once again for JackDReaper to come out. Both players very even in terms of supply. JackDReaper now pulling away by just a tiny margin, and on the other hand, it's eXo.BLaZeR filling up the upgrades. But yeah, this is the part of the game where you just gotta chill out. Let's try to appreciate the scheme of things. Just looking at the map, just look at this water. Like, okay, this water there. I don't know if it's made out of acid or not, but nothing really happening for the time being for these guys. Yeah, I'm gonna edit something real quick as we do see some Marines now going for sharp shots. It's gonna be a quick little 1v1 there, and eXo.BLaZeR winning that out thanks to that +1. Good job there, Marine number 1 getting the kill. Dude, I got hiccups. That is the worst time to get hiccups, when you're gonna go for a task. But you know what's gonna be a terrible time here for one of these players? Oh no, the Cyclone tacking up the hit. Here comes the stim pack, but the siege tanks already in position, and eXo.BLaZeR gets some interference matrix to the face. The Raven dies, the siege tanks can't siege up, and they fall. The medevac bring them along, and JackDReaper now gonna be on the prowl. This is gonna be perfect time here for Jack to actually go for the attack. A terrible fight there, going the way of the pink Terran, and eXo.BLaZeR salvaging what he can. 1 medevac and 2 siege tanks are all that's left. Absolutely unfortunate right there, just walking those siege tanks into the fight. For now, JackDReaper just backing off with those Marines as well. He did do some damage there in the backline with taking care of some SCVs, even hurting that engineering bay. But it looks like the pink Terran doesn't really want to come out of his base for the time being, taking that win in stride and checking out behind it instead. A third base not gonna come out, and this Marine still on his vigil. He almost suffered that there against his counterpart, but now he's gonna be at a disadvantage because we 1-1 here for these Marines. Finally, JackDReaper getting those upgrades out and about. Both players actually focusing on some bio here in terms of upgrades, and now queuing up these Marines once again. A few siege tanks gonna be out into play, and look at that split. the Marine Scouting Army is really cute here for our eXo.BLaZeR, but now it's gonna be a 1v1 once again. Let's see who will take the win. It's gonna be JackDReaper with 1 HP thanks to that extra armor. That's what those +1s are for. +1 armor, +1 attack. So that's -1 oncoming damage, of course, and you do a little more damage. It does make a small but substantial difference to go for the upgrade. It does take a while, however. And now the Pink Terran finally coming out of the shade into the limelight. It's gonna be the Marine spotting this out, getting a few, and by that I mean a lot of rockets there from the Cyclone. Also, like, you see a small little Marine like that, and you see a Cyclone just tossing rockets at it, still doesn't die. Low, you know, it just ruins your immersion sometimes, but whatever, it is what it is. You can just assume that the Cyclone couldn't actually get the hits there. And speaking of hits, it's gonna be a hit squad there with the Marines. They do fall one by one as the siege tank is set up and the medevac really low thanks to the missile turret force to just keep up on a perch. Scans now come out here from the side of JackDReaper. eXo.BLaZeR getting in position instead, and it's gonna be Jack going for the drop play instead. He spots out the missile turret, so eXo.BLaZeR might know his intention. Goes for a second scan, using this all up right now. The Marines being queued up there onto the medevacs, and they're gonna walk into their untimely deaths for the time being. So many scans coming out right now from the Pink Terran. Gonna be engaged, however. The eXo.BLaZeR Marines not in position, and now here comes JackDReaper walking on by. The siege tanks now are ready, and that split there from JackDReaper, solid bait play, putting the Marines up on top instead of the ball. Gonna be the Pink Terran now walking into the base and sieging up. This is gonna be terrible here for these SCVs. The Vikings keeping an eye out those medevacs, trying to shoot them down. Here comes Stimpack in, and it's gonna be the Vikings falling as a pair, but in return Marines just being turned into charcoal as the shock cannons doing the work, shocking and gnawing everyone. The SCV is trying to go for the repair, but it's only the one SCV. He needs some help from his brothers, and he needs this fast or this orbital command will fall. The siege tank on the high ground actually taking some hits and can't even get a hit back. This orbital command now flaming, and here come the Marines going for the last hit. They're not gonna get the XP for that, however, as the siege tank is the one doing all the work. Planetary Fortress is out and about as well here for eXo.BLaZeR on to his third, and this is gonna be JackDReaper going for the artillery play instead. He can actually creep up. Looking at the vision here for these two guys, if JackDReaper just moves a little more. Oh, he's gonna use the Marines as a range test maybe? Nope. Okay, he's gonna walk them into certain death. eXo.BLaZeR getting a few hits there, and for the time being, luckily for these Marines, they're not seen by the siege tank, but they are in range. A little dangerous, honestly. The Pink siege tank going for some pot shots once again, and this is gonna be eXo.BLaZeR being choked. Being choked so heavily right now in terms of resources. The Marines gonna go for a quick little clash thanks to the Liberator reinforcement. But still, eXo.BLaZeR at a huge disadvantage. So at 93 kills already in the way of Jack, and counting army supply is pretty much doubled up as well. The Liberator actually is all the way in the back, not really doing as much damage as he can. And now the medevac gonna be keeping an eye out on those Marines, getting a pot shot there. And here comes the stim in, and the siege tanks just taking care of those Marines. Both teams losing so many of these infantry thanks to those tanks, just like the war. And now the double artillery strike here from JackDReaper. This is gonna be such a pincher play, such a attrition play rather as well from eXo.BLaZeR. And honestly, all of these attempts right now slightly empirical, very dangerous for eXo.BLaZeR to walk into this oncoming siege, because he can't really expand behind this. He doesn't have the minerals to do so. eXo.BLaZeR gonna creep on in once again, but JackDReaper just going for the choke play. eXo.BLaZeR losing another number of SCVs and Marines, and finally Jack has had enough. He's gonna go for the commit, takes care of those SCVs. The Planetary Fortress doing a lot of damage, has gotten 31 kills, but finally it will fall, and eXo.BLaZeR stuck on one base and a dream. The orbital command is forced to actually lip off, and look at this long range mining. Gonna be waiting on for a cue here from the SCVs. It's gonna be like Black Friday right now here for these SCVs, but JackDReaper is gonna come in once again. Here comes the police, here comes the security of the shop, and eXo.BLaZeR will call GG. The Pink Terran will take the win, and JackDReaper slow play leading into a victory.